This is ecluse number 28 on the Canal de Briard, and over there is the automatic lock pull thing, that blue pole, if you can see it. And once you're tied up and ready, one of us steps off and you pull up the blue pole to say you're ready. If there's an emergency, you pull the red pole. And anyway, here we are doing these locks today in front of this abandoned ecclusier house. And the ecclusiers, there are a few of them who speak some English and have told us the VNF plans to have all locks automated by 2025, which will... We have now finished on the Canal sur Loing with the automatic locks. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. they were open, and that all worked very well, although it's sad to see all the abandoned ecclusier homes and little stations, but I guess that's the price we pay for automation. This is a massive bridge stretching into the city of St. Malm, and here are many boats, big barges, and people living over there. Apparently this is about a 45-minute commute into Paris, where many people work, and very nice place by the look of it. But where shall we tie up? That's the question. This kind of looks like Peniche graveyard in some ways. The lovely houses in the background. It is a Monday afternoon. It's about 12:30, and who knows, I guess they're all out for lunch because it's very quiet. Okay. Oh, there's a pretty little one, very colorful, in good repair. Yeah, Lolicon, whatever that means. And there's the apartments in the background. Wow, look at that. I love the little tables and chairs they have on their decks. Oh, and he's got a hot tub. There you go. Upgrading next year. Upgrading next year to the guy with the hot tub and the woman there bikini tanning. Size of some of these barges, unbelievable. We have still seen a few working barges up.
Oh, these are definitely working barges.
These will still, yeah, they're in very good repair. And right up there in front is one of the ancient, no longer used canals. Huge barges, just unbelievable. I wouldn't like to drive one of them. And here is a ancien écluse, so no longer in use. Things have changed and are still changing on the canal. Canals, many canals. Limited space, they seem to raft one up against the other. That's 3 layers deep. And here we are. So picturesque. There are the swans under that little bridge. Here you can see rafting.
Hello, raft.
Wow.
We can find a spot.
Oh, pity this thing doesn't have a zoom. Okay, who knows? It must be hard to find a spot. Now we're turning right and going into the Seine with this family of swans. And there's a guy racing to beat us to the last spot. If you go left here, you'll go up towards Paris, which we're not doing this year. We're going to go right and see what we see.
When you go almost there, it's still filming.
Is it? So we've come through that bridge at St. Marm, and if we went left here, we'd go to Paris. But not today. Now there's a little bunch of swans. We're turning right to go into the Seine River. Sue, I'll have to send you this. You asked about the Seine. There it is. Wow. Well, those look like mooring buoys, so this looks like a good place to tie up. Doing it.
One of the sliding pontoons on the River Yonne. As you can see, the walls are sloping, and the only way we can get up is if we tie up to this pontoon and go up. The water's rushing in there like crazy. 3.8 meters, Gaynor says. Under the walnut tree. That's the operations room, steering room, day room, and we've had a long day of traveling, and look forward to a nice glass of cold white wine. It's early morning, and look at this beautiful scene.
Aqueduct up ahead.
That's it, yeah.
And behind you is even more beautiful.
Yeah, we are leaving Pont-sur-Yonne.
Which means bridge on Yonne River. There's an aqueduct, which means I must phone the VHF. Getting my radio ready, channel 69, and I'm going to tell them we're coming, and in my best French, and hopefully there's no big commercial barge for which we always have to then wait. They get priority.
Hang on.
Alright.
Yeah.
69 channel. Okay. Villeport, Villepero, CS Coral, Plaisance de Bateau, 9.8 meter, Venant, Port-sur-Yonne, avant Villepero includes 2 kilometer. Prepari, okay? Okay? Okay.
Well, Gaynor just told the Ecclesia that we are coming on the VHF, and presently we are waiting for a big barge to come through, and there's the weir. So the lock is just on the left of the weir over here. As you can see, a big boat's waiting to come out, and we're just hanging tight here waiting for this barge to come through.
Before we contend with yet another sloping wall lock, which are quite tricky, and they were, the Ecclesia, the previous one, told us they were built in Napoleon's day, obviously to save water. So these little locks, or big locks, are created to help the boaters come through past these big weirs. Okay, very interesting. Oops, shit. We're now moving towards San, and we're going to tie up there for a couple days. It's September 8th, Wednesday, and there's a market on in San.
We just arrived in San, and we are going to spend 2 days here. Have a bit of a rest. Sounds like we parked right next to a school ground. Sans.
And we're going to see what we can see in San.
We're going to see what we can
See in San.
This is one of the ancient cathedrals in San.
That's what it is. First Gothic cathedral in France. 1130.
1130. Whoa. Massive organ. This place is ancient, 11th century, unreal. 1407.
Did he die here? Obituary 12.
Here we are in front of the church in the square. Here's the market in the back there. Back there is a Hotel de Ville. Everything about this church and this cathedral is astonishing. Just absolutely mind-boggling. The Museum of Sense is inside there. They're obviously trying to restore some of the beauty of this place. Look at that unusual roof.
We're in another medieval town. This one is called Vilnius, which ironically means new town, sur Yonne, on the Yonne River, and it's known for its two gates. This is the gate going towards Sarn from where we came, and if you look through the gate on the other side, you see the gate going south.
Boom. It's too far away.
Look, I see there's a notice. There's the city hall.
This is the other side of the gate. That is the Mairie. Another huge church, starting to build in the 12th century right through to the 16th century. Took 400 years to build this one. And they're still working on it. Not finished yet. Unbelievable.
Many different architectural styles.
This is the inside of this church. That smells quite musty and old. And not well cared for. But I mean, it's an old church. It's an old church.
How elaborate. Just in another tiny town. Although royalty made this their home, this town. Vilnius, King Louis, for the Louis for a number of decades. They made this their town, so I guess the church went up.
Wow. the confessional. As you can see, lots of hand wringing happening here. An example of how old everything is in Villeneuve.
Oh, and the little car.
Ah.
That. Madame, s'il vous plaît, deux croissants. Deux croissants? Yeah, and I've got my bag here. Here. And one pound chocolate. Yeah, chocolate. And one glass. What's this one? Celui-là? This one. Là? No. La petite? La petite. Merci beaucoup. Coupé? Coupé, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît.
Well, we're here for our daily bread, as you can see, at the patisserie. Still remnants of the old fortifications. It's a misty morning on the river, and we are just waiting to take off towards Auxerre.
But we'll have a croissant and a coffee while we wait for the mist to clear. I guess.
Merci beaucoup. Iso. Okay.
Here we are sharing a lock with two other boats, which we're not sure if that's a good thing or not, because we're now wedged here on the left. Dad's holding on for dear life as the water rushes in from the front, and it looks like we're going to be traveling with these people all the time. Now the Ecclesier had already closed the lock on these other two people. Then we called to say we were coming, and he decided to reopen the lock and force us in to share. Oh well, that's all part of the experience.
There's 4 boats in today. One in front, German guys. Okay, and there's Canal. We're tied up, ready to go. On this boat there are a bunch of lady sailors on their own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And you can hear them chattering away. Instructions were given by the captain with the captain's hat on there, as you can see. Here we are in a beautiful little spot. security. There's a caravan park and a whole bunch of boats here. And look at this beautiful, nice little spot. Right now we're in Auxerre at the start of the Nivernais. We're going to spend about 4 days here and then go on to the Nivernais. As you can see, this is where some of the boat people come and overnight. This is a beautiful city with lots of churches, ancient churches and ancient buildings and beautiful little streets. As you can see, the setting is beautiful. Buildings are really old. As an example, look at this. Everything is so old, it's hard for me to wrap my head around it.
Ton téléphone, je peux te payer, mais quand 2 fois. Ouais, vas-y, tranquille, on s'arrange. Vas-y, ouais.
Another church. You might think this is a video all about churches, but not really.
There is the public toilet.
The Church of St. Pierre. St. Peter outside the walls belonged to a monastery founded in the 6th century, placed under the patronage of the Prince of the Apostles, received during the apostolate of Bishop Oner in 561 to 605, relics of St. Pierre. One of my favorite old Citroen cars. What a beauty. This is the library in Auxerre. Gano's just gone inside to check it out. I can see some of it down there, but I'm hanging back. I've seen enough libraries. Here we have an elementary school, more modern, and with the ancient church in the background.